Hello everyone, my name's Tyler, and this is going to be my chess journey. I don't know how long the series is going to be, but I want it to be a really long series. Maybe for the rest of my life, I don't know. But this will be my chess journey. I love chess. I don't feel like I'm very good at chess. My coach is awesome. He sees something in me that I don't. I think I can play well sometimes, but I don't fully understand everything that goes wrong, even though I analyze all my games. So, this series is going to serve to prove to me that I'm good at chess and to keep my emotions in check since I'm recording this. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of everybody. So that I can start improving or see how good I am or some weak spots, which I already know I do definitely have some weak spots. So I'm going to be playing one game every day, hopefully, at least for a year. And win or lose, I'm going to analyze the game. I can imagine some videos will be shorter or longer than others. I will say that I did work a 12-hour today. I'm a nurse, so I'll see if that has some kind of effect on my play. Maybe I'll play better on the weekends. I don't know. I'm going to try not to pay attention to my opponent's rating, things like that. And this will just kind of be a journey and an adventure for everybody. So, I don't know how long this first video is going to be. Let's get started, and I'm going to just say all my thoughts out loud, my thought process, and then I'll analyze it after. Let's do it. Okay, I'm playing as black. I don't mind playing as black. I get to play my favorite opening already, the Scandinavian. Now, okay, good. They play the right thing, I think. I play the modern Scandi because I really love gambits with black. Now, I don't really like this move for white because I can simply play kind of a, I don't know, a Mises Scandinavian mainline kind of thing. And if the bishop ever moves, this hangs. So, trying to think. I think since there's no knight that can kick me, I honestly just like bring my knight here and prepare to castle queenside. I have no reason not to. I don't want to lose my bishop pair. Here's the thing. I love my bishop pair. I really love my bishops. I don't really have to worry too much about this knight because I have a strong queen, which you usually don't want to bring out early, but because it's the Scandi, it's kind of the point. This is pointless, but wondering if I could just fianchetto. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pin the knight because I don't really have too much of a reason not to. And the pin gets destroyed immediately, which I find happens. Now, if this was on the other side of the board, I would have two pieces lined up against the king instead of the queen. So that would be better for me. I can just go and castle. I have to pay attention on time. This is only a 10-minute game. Again, I'm going to try to win every single game. But if I lose on time, that's fine. I don't want to play bad chess. That's really the whole thing. I don't want to play bad chess. So, I'm not going to go for any hope chess. But I think moves like that are tempting in the Scandi. I am going to centralize a pawn without overextending it too far. and maybe develop again. Maybe here, not trying to play hope chess, but just trying to get some kind of attack going. I could go ahead and trade, but that would be a trade with tempo. So if he wants to overextend, he can. He can't Noah's Ark trap me or anything like that, which is good. Okay. So my opponent's going for this fork. So the plan is, after some kind of exchange, his knight's protected and he can fork me. But at the same time, this kind of looks like a mistake to me, and I don't know why. Why does that look like a mistake? I think, more or less, it's because when I capture, he has to recapture, or else his queen hangs. But then I can just defend the move like that. And that doesn't look too good, but I am centralizing my knight, I think, to a better spot. And I have to be mindful about time. But again, I'm trying to play good chess. If I lose on time, so be it. Okay. So my knight is being attacked twice. If I make the mistake of defending, then he's just going to do that. I think a better move would be to kick the knight and also protect my knight with a pawn. A stronger piece. And I'm still protecting this pawn. Like a stronger piece for defense. Because it's less valuable. Okay. So that's just a knight, right? That kind of threw me off. That just looked like a knight. What am I missing? I have 5 minutes and 38 seconds, so... Okay. I think my opponent blundered. But I still have to play well. That's a trap I've fallen into. I've not gotten cocky. It's not that I get cocky. I get excited. It's like, oh, I'm going to win. And then I just lose. So this pawn's hanging unless... I go here. I really care. Because the question is, sliding the rook over would have this. But I can connect my rooks. So I think I just want a free pawn. And if he wants to trade queens, yep. I don't agree with that move at all, because I am ahead by quite a large margin. Well, an entire piece and a pawn. So I don't really agree with that, but I'm going to... I want to stack my rooks. Oh, okay. Oh, I also have a ChessNut that I really love. And I think eventually I will start playing with that. What inspired me to... Ooh, okay. So, I think my opponent's gotten a little desperate. Because there's this trap. Like that. And it does expose my king. But the problem is, while it does expose my king, it And now I can just come back. While it does expose my king, I have found in one of my games that I've analyzed before, it didn't matter because the queens were off the board. Well, actually, vice versa. Queens were on the board, and I tried this trap, and it was actually a mistake or a blunder. But when I analyzed it with kings outside, like off the board, it turned out to be good. So just positionally speaking, just because there was less pieces on the board, I was inherently better. If that makes sense. I'm going to try to go for yeah, I have a little nook there. Okay, he's just mindlessly, I think. Oh, no offense to my opponent. He's kind of desperate. Well, he just gave up another rook. He's desperately going for a queen, and there's just nothing. I'm very happy with this game. I won. Again, no offense to my opponent, but I don't feel like my opponent played as well as they could have. Again, no offense to my opponent whatsoever. To be fair, though, I played a really great game. And my opponent, for our level, I think played a good game as well. Here, I think is a mistake. I'm going to turn lines off. Feedback off. I'll keep evaluation on. But when I analyze my games, I do use Stockfish's lines, I guess. And the reason why is because usually I kind of already know what I did wrong. And I just want to see why. So I use Stockfish to see what I got wrong and why. So I played extremely well. I played at a 1550. And my opponent actually played extremely well as well. They played at a 1200 rating. And we're both rated 1000. So we both have potential, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm not going to talk too much about the opening. I don't agree with knight c3, actually, because it just transposes into a better version of the traditional Scandinavian, in my opinion. The reason why it's better for me is because they don't have a knight to kick me over into, like, the Mises variation. I accidentally touched the mic. Oops. So, okay. I think everything was more or less normal. Now, I know that I wasn't the happiest with this move because it's a relative pin. And also, it's easy to break. I can't really, if the king was over here and the queen was over here, it would be easier to start piling up pieces onto this knight, because then I could have a potential fork on the king and rook. But the queen actually serves as a defender for the knight, so I don't really have that as an option as well. So that's why focusing on what side of the board you're pinning on is important. So, yeah. I'm not too happy with this move. It looks like Stockfish likes it. But again, it's super easy to break. Now, this bishop is a bad bishop. Notably because of this pawn here. Also, I wanted to point out, this is actually considered Alekhine's defense, but the Scandinavian variation for some reason. I don't know why. If anybody knows, tell me. That would be cool. Castle and queen side, I like. I'm a very aggressive player, and I find this to be a great move. Castle and king side. Completely fine. I'm going to start trying to not overextend my pawn. I feel like playing here would be a bit worse. But I don't know. I did not want to overextend and bite off more than I could chew. Again, not playing hope chess, but a good idea, I think. would be to swing my queen over to h5 at some point in the future, if I could. But at the same time, the knight would maybe have some discoveries that they could unleash against me, and then I would just get ran over with an X-ray. So, hope chess is bad, but I have seen this kind of idea. Okay, I'm droning on a little. Okay, so I don't have to be worried about a Noah's Ark trap because of this knight. So I come back instead of trading. I think trading would kind of be a mistake, in my opinion. So they have no reason to take here. They would attack my queen with a tempo. Where would I move my queen? Nah, hard to say. Maybe from a lot of analyzing I've done, Stockfish really likes retreating the queen whenever she's under attack because it's the most valuable piece. So I think Stockfish would probably like this move the most. Though, this doesn't look bad either. Actually, Stockfish hates it. Why does Stockfish hate it? Got it. Because of a simple move like that. But, what about a move like this? Again, Stockfish hates. Why? Well, I don't have an attack on this because the bishop isn't developed. And they can just simply... Well, Stockfish doesn't like that. But, probably because, I don't know. But, you get the point. Oh, yeah. So, I made the right decision. I have my mouse turned off. You can't see the mouse. So, I'm kind of pointing at stuff, but you can't see it. I might turn it on in the future. So, I think I was right. If something like this, simply come back, and you have a game. And if takes, then I can take back with my queen. And then neither of us would have a bishop pair. So, instead I opted to not really keep a pin, but just keep an attack. Keep an X-ray. And this move looked like a mistake to me. But it has nice ideas. If I hadn't been paying attention, you know, this is just completely lost. This is a move that I probably would have played at some point, you know? Just, oh, there's a sniper bishop, but it's not really a sniper. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares away. So, I had to think tactically here, because my opponent was thinking tactically. This whole point was, hey, I have a fork. But I'm not going to say it's hope chess. I just don't think it really works because I have this... I'll say it's his wish and do. It looks like it's wish and do because he has to take with the queen or else... Fine, go and fork me. You're not forking my queen. My queen's over here. And, you know, I'll just win a queen. And I'll be up material. You know, if you wanted to do this, well, yeah. Completely Liz is right. I'm just up. Oh, you already moved. It's my move again, so I can save. Well, I can do... I don't want to move it to a place where my bishop can get kicked, but I also don't want to cut off that battery. But I think that's probably the best, actually, because of luck. As seen by Stockfish, this is really nice. Now, I did see something that kind of surprised me. Because the whole reason I did this is to defend f7 with my knight. Oh, I think I'm starting to see it. Was it this? No. I was thinking maybe this would be the idea for my opponent. But no, because I just moved my queen. So I'm wondering, what is up with this move? What did I do wrong? Here's something I haven't taken advantage of. I'm just checking the time. Make sure I don't. This video is only 2 hours. Let's see. You permitted the opponent to eventually win a pawn. Ah, okay. So just defend with a rook instead. Yeah, I honestly in the game didn't like how this knight looks. Even though it was defended by my queen. Oh. Oh. That's it, right? That's the key move. They were just supposed to play d4, and I'm like, well, now what? I gotta move my knight. And that would have been bad. So was that the idea? Yeah. My opponent was supposed to play d4 here. And had he played it, I would have started panicking. I'm not gonna lie. But I think that is what I would have played, which Stockfish hates. I don't know why Stockfish hates it, because it seems like that's fine, but my pawns over here and this isolated e-pawn are very bad. Oh, and then do you... oh, that's winning for me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about the sniper bishop earlier and how it wasn't actually a sniper. No, it just wins a pawn. There's the line. Okay, I found the line on my own, kind of, with just the hint that my knight move was a mistake. Learning. So the whole point was white was supposed to remove the defender. And that's why knight e5 was a mistake. And it didn't really look right to me either. I guess this is also very playable. Except the only issue is what happens. No, it's still actually... Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think this line's even better because look how strong that rook is. And honestly, if I'm white, I don't care that this diagonal's open. So what? White's just completely winning at this point, in my perspective. If I'm ever down a pawn in chess, I'm like, this isn't good. I start panicking. Unless it's a gambit, then I'm more than happy to play it. So, very, very interesting use of kicking a piece to remove the defender, which my opponent missed. Okay. Very common at our level, I think. This looks very good. Develops the bishop. Have 2 attackers on my knight. But that's also a mistake. Okay. Why is that a mistake? That's a good question. Is it the same reason? Is it this move? No, it's not that move. What move is it? I didn't hang this pawn. What is the crushing blow from white? Is it just taking the knight? Possibly. Because now I have kind of a weird choice. I think this is the line. This is probably what I would have played in the game. I can't take this now if I'm white. Let's flip it. What do I do? Oh, now I have the fork. Look. Wow. Because my double pawns got in my own way. Wow, this would have been a killer blow to me. That would have killed me. That would have punched me right in the gut. Very interesting stuff. This is actually quite advanced, I think. And then if this, same issue, right? Except, yeah, it's the same issue. So my opponent had a really, really incredible idea. And I feel like I also have really, really incredible ideas. The problem is, at our level, we don't have the capacity to quite think like this. Even though I can see it now, it just doesn't pop out to me. And I'm saying that as I have 2700 in tactics, which I think is quite awesome. But as people have pointed out, it's much harder to actually find tactics in a game. So, very complicated stuff. This is crazy. This is very seeable, I think, at like probably 1200. So this is kind of stuff I'm going to have to be prepared for if I want to get to 1200, which I desperately do. So, again, I think my opponent just did what we all do sometimes. At my level especially. And, hey, I'm going for the fork. Well, that won me the game. It was that one blunder won me the game. Even though I made back-to-back mistakes starting here and here, my opponent blundered and I won because of it. I didn't let him come back. So from here, the game was honestly very straightforward. This drops a pawn. Not particularly worried about something. Well, what am I talking about? I talked about that move in the game. I talked about this move in the game. It just drops the queen. See, this is the kind of thing that I can't quite grasp at my level. Is I just assumed that the queen was defended. That's just something that It's a queen. Of course it's defended. Nope. This is impossible. Because the queen is undefended. So you just take the queen. And there's no... It's not like my... Now, if my king was on b8, this would be horrible. That would be probably a brilliant move, just doing this. For white, that would be a brilliant move. Because this just hangs the game, right? That would be a back rank checkmate. Oops, I lose. And I think a lot of people would fall for that at this level. So I didn't see that queen was hanging. I also oftentimes don't see when my queen's hanging. I get excited and I hang my queen in one move. And then I cry. Not actually cry, but not fun. Inaccuracy. Because why would you trade queens while you're down material? Okay. This is very instructive, I think. This is a common kind of trap for the bishop. The bishops can get stuck behind pawns or pieces. This is why they don't make the best outpost, but a knight makes a much better outpost piece. Not saying they can't be used. I'm not saying that you can't put a bishop on an outpost, because a bishop on an outpost can be awesome. But they can get stuck. And I think if queens were on the board, that would have been good for him. Because I don't think this would be good, because his queen can start attacking and have this whole diagonal. And I would possibly get mated, or he could at least complicate things. He or she. Again, this is a one-move threat. I just step back and attack the rook. At our level, we kind of think, okay, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to save my bishop. So I'll attack. Well, that just dropped the rook. I'm still going to go after the bishop, because why not? And it is officially trapped. There is nowhere that the bishop can go. It's a goner. Honestly, I would say that's my opponent's best move. A good desperado tactic to save some material. And I can't blame my opponent. I wouldn't know what to do, because there's really nothing that you can do. But you definitely don't want to do this. Even though Stockfish says it's good, you know, just trying to march up the board. Look, I'm up 7 points of material, and you're about to lose another rook. Well, I mean, definitely trade and not lose it completely, but he decides to completely lose it. I do this kind of thing too. If I'm losing, sometimes I get frustrated and either purposely give up material, or I'm not purposely trying to throw the game because I was actually trying to win, but I have had times where I'm like, well, fine, just take this piece and take that piece. I'm going to lose anyway. Which is a bad attitude, and I need to work on it, and that's why I'm having this video series. But, partially. But, just still trying to find the best move, There's no reason not to take it. Now, I'm still up 7, but I'm not up 12. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's any coming back from this. I'm not going to pretend like there is. Some good in this game. Well, I learned a lot, and hey, I won my very first game on Down the Ladder. That's exciting. A lot of people play this, which I don't think's good at all, because it gives me what I like to call the Super French defense. I'm not the only one that's called it that. But, well, they can't really develop this knight. I learned that if they check, block with the bishop, don't walk into a pen. That's pointless, and they also have some really weird, interesting ideas, actually. I don't remember specifically what, but even, I've fallen for like a fork in a similar position. I don't remember how, but I guess the queen got involved somehow, or I don't know. But I now know not to block with the knight and just block with the bishop if they throw in a check like that, which I don't see why they would particularly, because the bishop doesn't really have a good spot to go. If you're going to do that, you pretty much have to trade. I don't know. I think this was a good game. I just think, I think you pretty much should always accept the Scandinavian. It's not a gambit, but you pretty much should always take, unless you want to transpose into like the Blackmore Deemer. And then, I actually like the Von Popiel gambit even more. Very aggressive. I would recommend that against the Scandi. I don't recommend this Alekhine's defense Scandinavian variation, because, again, I'm just playing the main line at this point. I have a really strong queen. This is dominating the board. And you can't kick me. You can't kick me where you want me to go. And if the bishop ever develops, well, you have serious problems here. I think there are ways out of it where you don't have to lose the rook. Judging by the eval bar. Oh, it's that move. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only move that saves it. Then you have to come back. Maybe here. And then it kind of looks... I mean, I want a pawn, but it's like... The queen's so weird. I've got nothing developed other than that. So, it's not the end of the world. Very playable for white. But, I don't know. I know how to play the Scandi mainline and especially the modern. And I feel like I played a very good game. The only thing that I missed, the only two things I missed one of those key moves of kicking the knight. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, a kick isn't a tactic, but kicking a piece can lead to tactics, like removing the defender. And also, in this case, removing the defender to a fork. So now I've lost a pawn, but I'm going to lose more material. And this is just a disaster. At this point, probably just trying to develop and connect the knights. Probably practically the best. And then taking this rook in the far corner so that now I have to waste more time and I don't have the strong... It's little nuanced moves like that you have to really think about when playing chess, I think. So, great game. I think we both played well. I didn't agree with everything my opponent did. But had my opponent found one of these two moves, and I think a 1200 would. Maybe not, maybe a 1500, I don't know. But somebody higher than us would have found that. And I would have gotten crushed. It's that little thing. It's that mistake. And again, another mistake. That could have cost me the game. But then my opponent blundered. So no blunders on my part. Let's keep it that way. Alright, I think I've talked enough. This was a good game. And if anybody has watched this video, which, you know, I'd be super happy if you did. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And hopefully we can not climb down, but go up the ladder, but that's not the point of this series. So, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think.